Rise and shine friends, today we are going to do basic probability and this is the part 1. So before just directly doing the basic probability, let's start with some of the prerequisites which you must know before knowing what probability is. So what is sample space? It is the set of all possible outcomes related to a random experiment. Now what does it say? रैंडम एक्सपेरिमेंट मीन्स रैंडमली आपने कोई एक एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म किया जिसके आपको आउटकम्स पता है पहले से. दैट मीन्स इफ़ यू टॉस अ कॉइन देन यू ऑलरेडी नो दैट आइदर हेड विल अपीयर और टेल. सो इट इज़ अ रैंडम एक्सपेरिमेंट. Nextly, you can say like rolling a dice, then you know that only 6 possible outcomes are possible in this case. So it is a random experiment. Randomly आपने कोई भी उठा करके एक्सपेरिमेंट किया जिसके आपको आउटकम्स पहले से पता हैं, तो उन सब आउटकम्स का एक जो सेट बनता है उसको we call as sample space, and this sample space is denoted by capital X, capital S or this ohm sign. More often you will deal with capital S only. Next term you must know is what is an event. Any subset of this sample space is event basically. What is subset? Subset means a part of that sample space. Sample space is also a set and any subset of that complete set is a event. For example, taking the same case of rolling a dice, ठीक है, and I have given you to define a set A which says we have to get all the numbers in this set which are greater than 4. So we know if I have rolled a dice, then the sample space in this case would be all the 6 numbers from 1 to 6, and in the set A we are asked to define a set of number greater than 4. So in this the number greater than 4 is 5 and 6 only, because it is the inequality sign strictly less than 4. So here 4 is not included. That is why just greater than 4 we have taken two cases of 5 and 6. So the set A contains 5 and 6, which is of course a subset of the complete sample space S. So here I have written that A is a subset of S. Next, we have defined a set B in which I am asked to write all the odd numbers. So the B set will contain 1, 3 and 5 simply, and this all the elements belongs to the original sample space set. So B is also a subset of S. Similarly, I am given a set C to define, in which I am asked to define the number which is less than 1. And you know, in this sample space we don't have any number which is less than 1. So the set C will not contain any element. That is why I have denoted it from phi, like it will not have any element. Also remember it is called as impossible event. A set that contains no element like phi is an impossible event, or we also call it as empty set, and it is always a subset of the original sample space or the complete set. So every empty or impossible event is a subset of our original sample space. Lastly, taking the example D set, in which I am asked to define the integers from 1 to 6, and it is written integer between 1 to 6 inclusive. Inclusive means 1 and 6 are also included in this case. This is a sure event because 1 to 6 all the elements will be defined in this set. So D will contain all the elements which were in our original complete set S. That is why it is a sure event, and this is also a subset of our set S. And notice I have marked here equality as well. Subset, it is a subset but it is a proper set as well. Proper set means when the set is equal to our original set, then in that case we denote it this way. Reading about a note, moving on, we have events are always denoted by capital letters. You must have noticed above any event that I have defined, either A, B, C or D, I have always denoted them with capital letters, capital A, capital B, capital C and so on and so forth. So you have to make a note of it that the events are always denoted by capital letters. Now talking about what basically probability is. Probability is like if you have done an experiment, then उसमें क्या क्या आउटकम्स पॉसिबल हो सकते हैं, क्या क्या अकरेंस आ सकती है, उसको निकालना इज प्रोबेबिलिटी। कोई भी कहीं पे एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म हो रहा है, उसमें क्या क्या आउटकम्स पॉसिबल हैं वो कैसे निकालते हैं हम, थ्रू प्रोबेबिलिटी। सो प्रोबेबिलिटी किसी भी इवेंट की कैसे डिफाइन होती है, यू मस्ट हैव स्टडीड दिस फॉर्मूला इन योर 11th or 12th स्टैंडर्ड, एंड द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ इवेंट is defined as like the number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Like in that particular case कितने outcomes जो हैं वो आपके favorable हैं divided by total कितने outcomes possible हैं। तो total outcomes जो possible होते हैं वो भी हमने ऊपर define किया है कि वो sample space contain करता है, like it is only nothing but sample space only, and favorable outcomes are the events which we are denoting according to the, you know, the according to the condition given to us. So probability of any event is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. I feel this much is pretty much clear to you guys. So moving on, it is also denoted by NA divided by NS. This means number of outcomes in the set A, if we are defining the probability, let's say for any set A, divided by NS. NS is number of outcomes in sample space. You know na, we have defined the sample space with S here, so it is nothing but that sample space notation only. Always remember that NA will always be less than or either equal to NS. Like the event that is the favorable outcome can never be greater than the total number of outcomes. Like total वाले तो हमेशा ज़्यादा ही होंगे ना, एक केस आ सकता है जब वो equal हो, but it can never be more than the total sample space, right? So this is another condition. And do not forget to make a note of this very important thing, that the probability ka range is always between 0 to 1. So probability lies between 0 to 1. Both 0 and 1 are included here. Like the probability ka value can be 0 or either 1. And of course in between that all the values can be the values like the probabilities, but the range must not go outside this. Like it cannot be in negative, like less than 0, and of course it cannot extend 1 as well. So the probability ka range always lies between 0 to 1. And probability is a unitless quantity. How it is a unitless quantity? Since it is a ratio of two same things, so their units will be cancelled out, right? That is why probability is a unitless quantity and it has no unit. Thank you so much. Make a note of all these formulas, and thank you for watching. If you have learned anything new today, don't forget to hit the like button.